correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Welcome to Me and Steve Talk RPGs, a podcast where me and my friend Steve...
We're playing games this time.
Cool. So, what do people remember from our last session?
That's a great
We were
question.
exploring in the ruins. We had a fight with octopus things.
2 sessions ago, I think.
And then we got run up. Were discovered by a member of the Archaeologist Guild, who asked us to go help. Asked us to go help save the rest of his party.
Yeah, they got jumped. And then awesomeness ensued.
Mm-hmm.
We had the high ground.
We did have the high ground,
It's over, Anakin.
both morally and physically.
Well, I really like the use of the past tense in the statement, though.
Well, I think I made my way down the ship, so I'm not on the high ground anymore.
That's right. And then all hell broke loose as we were trying to do things, and I'm in a water tower.
Well,
Or
I'm
something
still trying to just marinate in Eric trying to claim he made his way down as he failed a simple coordination check to walk over something and fell into the APC of the Calaris people.
Oh. Details.
And then Karlax failed to build a trebuchet catapult and instead managed to launch themselves into a water tower.
Again?
Again?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I thought I passed the roll, but rolled a crap ton of threat.
Potato at this point for me.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah.
Look, things still went comically wrong. That much I acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I think Karlax should change his name to Yeet.
Here, let me check Foundry. Oh, wait, your computer can't run it.
Yep.
Steve, I'm upgrading to 32 gigs tomorrow.
For those playing the
I
home
could
game.
upgrade to 32 gigs too. It just wouldn't recognize the other 16.
Oh.
You have the slots?
I have 4 DDR2 slots. Or DDR3.
Steve, hot gluing them into your computer doesn't count as having them.
No, seriously, it's got 4 slots. It's just that, at least per the crucial scan, the motherboard won't recognize more than 16 gigs. So I took out the 4 2s and put in 4 4s.
That makes sense. 16 should honestly be enough.
DDR3. It actually, other than Foundry, it is like it. A lot of the sluggishness I was having has gone away.
Cool.
So that in that regard, I'm quite happy.
Cool. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you can run Minesweeper in solitaire now. So previously in the Celestry, your group had found a central floating island with a pond-like clearing with natural flora when, because of a magic pulse that Groth accidentally released, a member of the Archaeologist Guild, mortally wounded, came to you seeking help, indicating that an expedition of theirs had come under assault by a Calaris group. You were quick to move into action to support the archaeologists. You each had an opportunity to take an action to try to help yourselves in the upcoming combat. Emphasis on try to help. I think probably Groth, or not Groth, no, it is Groth. Groth was probably the only one that was successful managing to create a muddy maelstrom and the combat field that's way down below, while Prang slipped and fell, very cat-like, into an APC that was housing some sorcerers and people with long guns that were shooting into the guild.
I landed on my feet though.
You know, we didn't talk about fall damage either.
I don't take it. I'm a cat.
I didn't think cats would fall walking on a tree either, but you know,
It can
shit,
happens. They
it
just land on their
happens, bro.
feet.
I mean, I successfully blinded the driver
That's true.
That's
of
true.
one of said APCs. Just saying. Now, I did not jump down the hole yet, so that's a different problem.
I just have the vision in my head of myself of like Madagascar. What am I, King Julian? You're the sacrifice. Oh, I'm the sacrifice.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
Are we still in narrative time?
You said you wanted to try to talk your way out of this.
I do.
Karlax is in a water tower, you know, dropping water all over this field. And I don't think anyone else has technically done anything combat oriented.
I want to flip a story point
Okay.
to say that I've had on me my old patch for my battalion that I was in.
Okay.
And I'm going to take it out and show them and say, I'm glad I was finally able to meet up with you again.
I think last time you'd said you wanted there to be someone here that you had known previously. Is that still a true statement?
Yeah.
Okay. Terry, do you want to play one of these catfolk with me?
I would love to.
So these are Calaris soldiers. They have drank the Kool-Aid. They are working for the greater good. Calaris needs to be in power so that they can save the world. So you and I will be the Calaris NPCs. What is your real name? Prang? Is that what they know you as?
Yeah. Prangalar. Yeah. Prang.
Prangalar? Where did you come from? What are you doing here?
That's Prangalar?
Yeah, remember those stories I told you about him?
Of course I remember the stories.
Well, after you left me, I had to find my own way.
Left's a strong word.
The way I heard it, it was more like voluntary. Oh, what's the word? Oh, doesn't matter. It was voluntary.
Not on my end.
You chose to go against orders. That's not really our fault that you were left behind.
I might have chose to go against the orders that you were given, but those were not my orders.
I feel like none of this matters. Are you just jumping into our ship now?
I saw the opportunity and I decided to take it.
And what is that opportunity? Can you believe this guy? He disobeyed orders in a state of war.
He abandoned our order and then comes crawling back, of course.
I wouldn't call it crawling, more falling with style.
And why should we not kill you where you stand, traitor?
Traitor. Now who's talking harsh words?
Is that not what you were?
As I said, I was following orders, just not the ones that you were privy to.
I find that hard to believe.
And that's why you're the rank you are still.
We are higher ranks than you ever were. What?
And you obviously haven't progressed. So
He
what
would
does
have
that tell
been
you?
privy
Sorry,
to
I'm
the
sorry.
knowledge.
I'm sorry.
that-
This guy fell into our APC in the middle of a battle, and he's just gonna pontificate smoke like this?
He really is blowing it up, isn't it?
State your business now, Prang. I tire of your empty words.
Who's the commander of this unit?
We'll say Terry's character.
I am indeed the commander of this vessel, of which you rudely interrupted.
Please find me Commodore Shroud.
Commodore Shroud on the ship?
You should be able to clear it up.
Is he on the ship?
No,
I don't remember.
I don't know who Commodore Shroud is.
Who is Commodore Shroud? We don't know any
Is there
Commodore Shroud.
is there actually a Commodore Shroud, Eric?
There was once.
There was once.
Okay.
Wait, no, wasn't he killed in battle?
Why would we have a Commodore on an investigation mission. I say we put him under arrest.
Did you not come here by a ship?
Operational security, thank you. Commander, we can't give
We
any
arrived
details on
here
that.
how we did.
That's a smarter statement than what I was going to come up with.
Now, how did you get here? How could you possibly have known such a location? And do you not know the reverence and importance of this fine ruin?
I do. And I've been monitoring communications. That's how I knew you would be here, to rejoin you.
So you're a spy!
So let's have you go ahead and make a deceptions check, because you are trying to make some giant ass claims.
Did you see the chat, Ben?
No, I didn't. Which chat?
The in session.
I'm trying to keep them talking for as long as possible.
Oh shit, that's gonna be great. I won't know nothing.
All right, what's my difficulty?
Deception goes against vigilance, I believe.
Yes.
So the commander's vigilance is a lot.
Yeah, it's probably gonna go very poorly for me, but we'll see.
Oh, man.
It's 3 red and 1 green.
That's very bad. 1 purple, you mean?
Yeah, that one. Sorry.
Can I get a boost because I've surprised them and his mind's a little fuzzy and he might believe me, he might not, because
You just dropped into their military vehicle in an incredibly suspicious way. So if anything, they're more on alert.
all right, fine.
I really can't argue Ben's logic on that one.
Hey guys, I just fell into your military vessel right now, and I've just tried to bullshit the crap out of you after being
I was part of their crew before and they left me.
one of these guys who's not in command.
Well, that's no good. Well, it's good, but it's bad.
It's good, but it's bad.
It's good, but it's bad. All right, let's do this. All right, these two
Let's see.
cancel. That cancels. So I have, start with the good. I have 2 successes, 3 threat, and a despair. So they believe my story, but bad stuff is coming.
You just killed that man. You named him, and they're gonna murder him.
Oh yeah, that's why that name's familiar.
So I don't remember. I remember like the broad strokes of your character, Eric. So I don't necessarily want to define stuff without you. So I think we have a couple of different options. One is we can just make stuff up. One is we might rotate off of this conversation for you to kind of think about what about your history is really gonna you over in this moment from that despair. So even though they believe you, or I can just make Terry come up with something that will probably, or actually Steve. Steve is that's right, Steve. You and your fan belts is pretty maniacal. So I think I'll make him come up with your despair. Do you have a preference, Eric?
I'm good with being on the fly, but if we need time to think of something, we can kind of pause this and go to another scene and then come back.
What do you want me to? Do you want to just improv all of it, or do you have a flavoring or concept that you would enjoy?
I think the Commodore Shroud thing is part of my background.
I told you, Steve, I would have a fun idea.
And there's some way he's tied directly to me.
Okay.
But not in a great way.
What do you got, Steve?
I'm going to say that this Commodore Shroud was recently excommunicated as a heretic.
I was thinking something very similar, and it's too bad that you're actually related to Commodore Shroud.
Oh no! Wait, Commodore.
Oh, you got it. Okay, and I think like the whole family, the whole like bloodline is now like
completely blacklisted.
But I don't think that Prang knows his family has had this happen to it.
No, because I've been out of the group for a couple of years now.
Oh,
yes.
No.
So this is news to me.
Wait, what did you say his name was again?
Shroud? Commodore Shroud? I don't remember this.
Commodore Shroud. I remember Commodore Shroud. Yes.
Then very good.
Yes,
Take
you
me
were
to him.
related to Commodore Shroud, correct?
Yes, bring me to him, and he'll sort all of this out for us.
Oh, that will no longer be possible, dear friend.
Why, has he fallen in battle?
No. That would have been a much better, shall we say, outcome for your dear departed relative. No, he was ruled a heretic, as was your entire family line. Heretics of the highest order, and we have struck them down from the records. What should I do to
Prang-
you, whose family has been stricken from the record?
Prang's face just drops because I don't have a great cool.
And your threat kicks in.
And here comes the threat. I
Oh.
think that we should take you in for questioning. I know quite the conversationalist, shall we say, back in headquarters, if you would indulge me.
Well, what was his crime?
His crime?
Heresy. He said heresy.
It was heresy, defying the very orders of our most glorious leader to save the world. What could be? There is no defining that more than just heresy. There is no need. It was heresy, and that was what it was, and that is what was written upon his grave.
Do you hear yourself?
I hear myself every day, and I love the sound of my voice. My mother thought I sounded like an angel.
I also can't wait till you play like an actual admiral or somebody of
Right.
actual rank, because I don't know how you're going to be more than this like master sergeant who's in charge of this ship. That's
You will be
basically, like,
surprised.
all right, awesome. And I believe there's an inquisition still declared upon this family line, so we must take you into custody now, Prang.
Come, I have these nice, delightful bracelets for you. They'll fit you nicely.
And I think with that, we'll pan away to somebody else while I emotionally recover from this character.
I was kind of impressive, Terry.
Thank you.
That was very good. That was very good.
Kept pulling it out of my ass.
You had some really fun improv answers. One thing I do just want to acknowledge, Eric, and it might be deliberate for how you're wanting your character to be, but it's you are flirting with one of my like struggles as a GM, which is when the PC it says I'm all knowing more than you, when a lot of times the other person is the one who's actually all knowing. I literally had a PC once walk up to a character and said, I am uber powerful intelligence person on a covert mission. You can't know about me because I'm too special. And he was talking, this was Star Wars, so he was talking to the lead ISB agent for the whole sector who was in charge of all secret ops. Like, and I hadn't planned it. Like, that was the character, but the dude just walked up and was like, I'm God's shit. You need to do what I tell you. And so just this is a master sergeant. They don't care that you might know someone. Like, no, f off.
I know, but this is very intentional character play.
Okay, cool. I just want to acknowledge it's like one of my like knee-jerk reactions as a GM that I struggle with is when the PCs always come in and like, we know what's best. It's like, cool, we don't know who you are. So this king of a nation is not going to listen to you, some random person off the street who thinks they know how to run their nation. Like, cool, dude.
Right. No, that was very intentional because I was
cool.
trying to rely on my wits, but my intelligence is not very great. So
Got it. We didn't really let you succeed. I mean, I guess they believed that you were listening to their stuff. But
yeah, they believe that I am related to Strawn, to Shroud, but it doesn't help me. So that's very fitting the way the dice worked out.
Okay, cool. Are you actually really related to Shroud?
We'll say yeah.
Okay, cool.
That was part that wasn't defined, so we'll say yeah. Perfectly fits the story. Well, let's go with it.
You've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender?
A few episodes.
Oh, all right. You guys need to watch more modern pop culture so I can make references for you.
Right.
As opposed to you,
As someone
doing
who
all
knows
the
Avatar,
stuff that
what are you
we all
thinking,
talk
Ben?
about and you don't have it recognized because you
Hey, you
can't
know,
be
who's
bothered to.
Hey, Steve, who's your GM, man? You know, who do you need to be able to make these references to? I'm just saying, you know, talking about some random band for half an hour doesn't help you get your point across to this guy.
Are you talking about Bossing Say?
No, I was gonna say Jinjon, the you know, kind of left the cult group. And so I was gonna say, like, that's kind of, I think, what's happened to Shroud.
Ah, yeah, that works.
Yeah, I think that's a fun kind of concept. But anyways, cool. Who wants to go next?
Do you want to resolve the thing that I put in chat?
In chat, sir, there's like 4 chats.
In
Uh,
session,
Current in-game
before all the
session.
memes.
Yeah, before all the
There's a lot
sandwich
of
between
memes.
the memes. Sandwich between the memes in
Right above the Shack one.
but below the Simpsons.
I think that's going to be my autobiography's name, In Between the Memes.
In between the
Got it. So, what you are wanting to do is pretty difficult. The reason that it is difficult is this thing is flying in the air. So, how do you see yourself getting up to basically a floating craft?
Well, okay. Well, so okay. My perception of it, and this could be, it was that it was hovering, but because they were
I'm
kind of
sorry, it was
engaged,
what? What was
hovering,
that word? I'm sorry. What?
hovering.
hovering,
So it was
Hovering?
hover,
vacuum,
whatever. It's a
vacuuming,
hovercraft,
Oh, it's a hovercraft.
hovercraft, whatever. It's not a hoovercraft.
A
You want
hoovercraft
some-
is a vacuum
That,
cleaner.
that's what we're trying to create by grabbing the vacuum.
Mm,
It's a
crystal.
hoovercraft.
We're trying to make a hoovercraft.
Man, that thing would suck.
Wait, who
It
goes
was-
on the craft? Hooverings go on the craft?
It would
Uh,
behover you to
oh,
continue.
that's so much better than what I said, Terry. Oh, you guys get a story point back. Oh, that was good.
No, I was
Uh,
figuring it was say 3 to 5 feet off the ground in my mental
Oh,
picture.
okay. So what I described last time was you guys are at long range from the island
Mhm.
and like medium-ish range from the floating craft. So it's like the length of a house from the ground. But I also said you crashed into like a water tower like thing. So you're not technically on the ground. So like it's not it's above shooting down at stuff.
Okay. So
But you have a lot of narrative freedom.
So, like I said, if you, I can spend a story point for the thing to be there. So basically, I'm envisioning this craft to have some sort of pipes and bars and things hanging off the edges of it because that's the way these things work.
Sure.
Always do. So I'm thinking maybe there's
Yeah, all
some like
Hoovercrafts have something like that.
yes, some sort of perhaps old guy cable or something on this tower that has a lump of something on it that I can, as was proposed as my character's new name, yeet in the direction of this thing and hopefully ensnare it effectively. Again, as I referenced the thing, a la the diner scene from Gone in 60 Seconds,
Okay.
where Nick Cage sneaks out and hooks the tow truck cable to the other guy's car.
Yep.
That's what I was wanting to do. While they're having this discussion, and distracted
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
craft.
So I mean, there's still a lot of people on the ground around you. You know, there's still a battle going on. So you are more than welcome to try this. But I will say that you are very likely to draw attention to yourself. And you just screwed Eric over, so I'm sure he's just gonna come right back at you in some fun way.
Oh, also, big thing. I don't know if I made it clear enough with what I was saying, but they're going to call in a higher officer, putting Prangalar in confinement until they can get a higher officer to confirm what he knows and confirm that he actually is a spy. So they half believe him,
but they believe him enough to say, okay, he's still related to a heretic, so he could be lying, but we're going to get a higher official to talk with him, but we are going to chain him up. You know what I mean? Just in case. I just want to make sure that was clear before we continue. That
Cool.
was, yeah. So that was the triumph with the threat.
Realistically, anyone that's a heretic to the Clerus Empire is a heretic. There's not like a gray area. So, but cool. Right. So, Karlax, I would love to see how you try to make this happen.
Yeah, they don't have like Heretic 1, Heretic 2. It's just Heretic.
Yes.
You don't have tiers of heretic.
Yeah, fanatics really don't let you be in that middle ground. They either you're with them or you're not.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Karlax, you can either do this sneaky or you can do this effectively.
Okay, I'm going to go for effectively because let's remember that I just used this water tower as a gong.
True.
So trying to be sneaky about it doesn't seem like it's going to be that effective.
True, but at this point in time, no one really knows which side you're on. But
True.
if you actively go after the Colaris ship, it is pretty obvious whose side you're not on.
True. This is also known as continuing with the previous plan.
Gotcha. All right. So this is going to technically be a ranged light check.
Okay.
And you are using a improvised weapon, so that's going to be one setback. You're in the middle of combat, so it's going to be another setback. And you're trying to hit something at medium range. We'll say it's, but you're elevated, so I'll let you say short range, but another but we'll upgrade it once because it's a moving target.
Okay.
And a bonus die since you're in a hovercraft.
Okay, so
Thanks, Steve.
Hey, I
I
can drive.
appreciate you.
what's the okay, so what's the difficulty that I'm upgrading?
You're doing one red, one purple, and like 3 black at this point.
And what's funnier than Steve not knowing tech issues? Steve not knowing words.
I'm a podcaster, not a librarian.
That's accent.
What's your range? What is your range skill?
1 and 1. So I have 2 success and 4 threat.
So I think you're able to hit the thing with this cord, but who's got a fun idea?
You also hit yourself with the cord, and you're suspended upside down.
So I'm caught in the cable yet again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you didn't tie off the cord, so now you're just flying around there.
That was the whole plan. Like it was already, but okay.
Yeah, you want to tie it? Well, I'm sorry, Mr. 4 threat.
But 2 success.
Yeah, you managed to hit it. All right, so it can be tied off. But I think you've drawn the attention of the Colaris.
Oh, I'm completely.
You are dangling upside down from their APC, and everyone is very aware of you.
Yeah, I got backup.
Cool. Terry, sorry, not Barney, Groth, Kulweg. What are you guys doing as your friends are trying to get themselves killed?
I will target the next available Colaris soldier on the ground.
All right. So in that case, then we will enter into initiatives.
Oh wait, we hadn't entered initiative yet? We hadn't entered combat?
This was all still narrative.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. You said there was a battle going on still. I thought that that meant a battle. Because I missed the last couple of rounds, so I didn't know if he had entered combat yet or not. My bad.
So Colaris and the Archaeologist Guild,
they're still
they are fighting. Technically, you guys have basically failed all of your direct confrontation with anyone at this point. So you haven't really made combat yet. I mean, honestly, Kulweg blacking out the screen on the window on the APC is probably the most violent act until Karlax managing to get this chain tied around the ship.
And I made the muddy swamp.
Again, it's not really that aggressive a move. Like, oh, this ground is muddy now, and you washed away
Okay.
some stuff, and so you revealed some like tech underlyings.
Oh, and then yeah, I'll start off the aggressions.
All right then. Why doesn't everyone go ahead and make me some initiative rolls then?
Yeah, remind me.
Vigilance, right? Or
Vigilance are cool.
okay.
So since you were trying to start combat, that's going to be cool.
Awesome. That's pretty cool.
Since Prang and Karlax are kind of caught off guard, potentially, I'd probably say vigilance. Since both of you are trying to do non-specific violent stuff.
It doesn't matter in my case. It's the same pool either way.
Then Groth and Kulweg, I feel like you guys are probably there with Barney, so I feel like you guys are cool as well if you want it.
You guys are pretty cool guys.
I'm better with vigilance.
Were you paying attention to Barney? Because it's not what you're better at; it's what is the role play.
Yeah, I would have been scanning the field and seeing if like my teammates were jumping into things yet or whatever, waiting for my spot.
Why is he called Admiral Akbar?
What?
Oh,
I hid the person. That must be why. So I think you're gonna be a cool then.
Ooh, I rolled vigilance. I would have had a single yellow for cool, so.
Well, vigilance is more of your caught off guard, so what you just described would not have been vigilance.
Oh, okay.
But you rolled, so you're good.
We could take my yellow success that I got from that, and since that's what the die I have for cool.
Owl
nope.
bear.
We're good.
I'm having issues. Hold on.
Issues like tissues. Okay.
Admiral Akbar knows when there's a trap. I mean, look at that. 5 successes to advantage.
Oh yeah, it was pretty vigilant.
Where are we going? In Foundry?
People are rolling wherever they want.
Oh, okay. 3 advantage.
Because some people are not able to use Foundry.
I'm just gonna roll that.
People are fine. It's their computers that are the problem.
Potato, potato.
2 advantage.
Wow, everybody had at least 1 success.
Why is it naming some and not others?
Where are you
No
guys?
idea.
Is there a VTT that I should be in?
No what?
A VTT?
No different than our usual.
Yeah, I gave my name correctly. There's a lot of pirate crew rolling though.
Well, I used them and made them something different, so I'm not sure why they're being called pirate crew, but it's whatever. We're in Foundry. Like, don't.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I had asked and then said somebody can't use Foundry, so I wasn't sure if we were actually using it.
Now, my computer doesn't play with it.
People are rolling in Foundry, but we're not using Foundry for initiative track or anything.
Ah, okay.
All right, so there is a squad of 4 using long guns to shoot into the Archaeologist Guild with the voice guy that Terry did, who's throwing spells. On the ground, there are 4.
What is that? Why did that come up?
I'm missing someone's initiative.
Mine, 1 and 1.
Okay. On the ground, there are 4 more melee-based Karlax, and they have what looks to be like a sergeant kind of directing them. They're a little marred in mud at this point, and they're fighting against more adventure archaeologist guild, but they are clearly not as militaristic, armed as well, or geared for really combat. All right. So the magic guy gets to actually go first.
Oh.
All right. They are going to be trying to put handcuffs on Prang. Prang, what's your brawl?
My brawl. Hold on, let me just see how. I gotta see how what's it called works.
Give us a cool roll to know if you're turned on by the handcuffs being put.
No roll needed.
No roll needed. Immediate yes.
Uh,
Bow, bow.
me, wow.
And you're welcome that that's on the recording.
I'm trying to figure out. Oh, precision. When making a brawl or range check, I can use cunning. So is this a brawl or range check to oppose with?
You are not making it.
I know, but I'm opposing it. So I guess it's a 2.
Two
If that does not
purple.
apply.
I honestly don't know the answer, but it says when you're making it. And in this case, he's trying to put handcuffs on you and you're trying to resist it.
Yeah, that's still. I mean, if it's a brawn roll, it'd be a brawn.
I'm not rolling it though. I would rule it that it's only when I'm doing it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you are shackled to one of the seats in the APCs. Oh, something's happening out there. I can't do the voice because it was Terry. And slap some irons on you. So they're basically
Things happening out there.
that was a lot better than what I said. And so it's like the metal cuff that has a metal bar between it, and then there's like a chain that's going to like one of the seats.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Perfect. Now they can't get away.
Yeah, it's a good thing that ship is the Hoover ship isn't attached to a cable so that it might go flying into the ground. All right. So, ironically, the Archaeologist Guild rolled the next highest. Good job. Good job, team. So I think what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna do a mass combat roll for them at the end of each kind of initiative round. But they're going to always be doing something to help out one of you guys on your rolls. So they're potentially going to be throwing boost dice at people. So next up is one PC slot.
I can wait because I'm shackled, so I can go last of the PCs.
Yeah, I think I'll take this initiative slot because Kulweg hasn't done anything in a minute. So now having, I think, entered the fray of this battle, because you said we sort of made our way down with Barney.
You guys are still like up, unless you want to do something. 'Cause I was kind of letting you guys do some narrative stuff, but you guys are still technically on the island, floating above all of this still.
I would imagine, is there any sort, how do I want to word this? Is there any sort of like, would there be something to anchor a rope to try and swing to the next island or where everybody is headed? Or is that sort of out of reach, or what are we talking about here?
Don't care.
Okay.
It's a moderate distance. So you to like the island where the melee is happening is like I can't remember if I said medium or long, but it's that's like football field length. And so it's a significant distance for you to have a rope for that
Yeah, that's a
far.
bit far.
But there are a lot of other debris all around you. So if you want to make your way down, that is something you're definitely able to do. Maneuver moves you one range band, though, so that will take you several turns to get all the way down.
Okay. I think, well, from where if I were to drop something over the edge, would it land on the battlefield, or is that
You would
a
have to
little bit farther out?
you'd have to
Give
lob it a
lob
little
it?
bit, yeah.
Okay.
And I think that technically you're not able to throw something that far, but because we're using gravity, the roll is going to be a little weird for you, but we'll make
Okay.
it feasible.
I think he's just sort of, he has these vials. They're not necessarily a bomb per se. They're just a vial of oil.
Okay.
Just that he keeps around for making various reactions. And he is chucking at least one or two of those down to where sort of the skirmish is happening.
Okay. What's the kind of the goal of the vials?
To spread oil on the ground so next turn I can throw one that's gonna maybe be a small explosive and ignite a small fire.
You made some kind of explosives.
I made an explosive health bomb.
That was right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, per our prior discussion, yeah, that's totally doable.
Okay.
If you roll enough advantages, we'll say you create a firebomb this time around. So I
Okay.
think what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna make this a one red, one purple, but I think we're gonna give you 2 setback, and that's because like you're having to like bombardier this thing while tossing it. So it really should be probably like 5 purple, but that just doesn't sound
okay.
cool. So I feel like this is a good balance of the difficulty and the thing. Eric, do you have any like insight in how you might GM this scenario?
I'd probably use the rule of cool in this one, and I would say if you get enough advantage, maybe like it bounces out there, and I would keep the difficulty low.
That's why
Ish.
I went with average difficulty with just 1 upgrade and just the 2 setbacks represent like you're trying to throw a grenade a pretty far distance.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. I think
Cool.
just activate it with advantage.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Okay. So 1 red, 2 purple, and I guess
1
just a
red,
range
1
check.
purple,
Oh,
2
okay.
black.
1 red, 1 purple, 2 black. Gotcha.
Yes. Setback are supposed to like represent the difficulty of the situation. So like in this case, it's having to fall as winds are buffeting it. So that's kind of where those are coming from. And then technically if you were just throwing this, it would be 2 purple, but then it's having to drop a lot. So that's where the upgrade came in.
Okay. We'll roll it, see what we get. 2 failure, 1 threat, 1 despair. Yikes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Any
You
fun
didn't
ideas?
set me on fire, did you?
That was my asshole move. Yes, the APC is now burning. But does anyone have any fun ideas?
APC now stands for all people charged.
I think that's perfectly fine. I like the now we're on fire.
Yeah.
It's on fire.
Perfect.
And now we're all on fire. Are you happy with yourself?
Perfect. Love this. And so they're now very aware of you up there also. All right. So the APC is going to try to like swing around and move up towards you, but it's tethered. So I need an athletics check from Steve to see if Karlax goes flying off of this cord that you're trapped on as it's maneuvering.
Okay, what's my difficulty?
It's going to be athletics and let's say hard. We'll say average, but it's setback.
All right. All right. 1 success, 1 advantage.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So this thing like whips up suddenly to like engage our group above. You are not thrown off. But instead, what happens?
I'm thinking like the snarl of cable he was kind of caught in, kind of like straightens out, but as they're going to go up, it kind of flips him back up onto the platform of the water tower.
Oh, okay. So you're just thrown off.
Basically, I'm just thrown off and back where I was before.
All right, that's a lot for an advantage. So I think I think we need to temper that a little bit with something. So I think you're still on fire, though.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. I appreciate you, Steve. Cool. I'm standing on the water tower again, but I'm totally enveloped in flames because that's awesome. Because I'm not on New Hoover ship anymore.
I bet that looks pretty badass, though. Flaming construct guy.
Flaming crystal dude.
I'm thinking Fezzik in the unburnable cloak, in the fire swamp cloak.
But I'm on a tower.
But you're on a tower. Yeah.
I'm on a tower. I'm on a tower. So because because the roll was 2 failures, you're going to be taking 2 flame damage every turn from the fire that's on you.
Okay.
And that'll be on your turn. That's how dots over time kind of work.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So the ship maneuvers up. The gunners are going to take aim. I kind of feel like Kulweg is probably holding a bunch more explosive-looking things. So they're going to shoot at Kulweg.
Woohoo!
Oh, do they have gear? So they basically have these crystalline, kind of like carbine type rifles. That's more damage than I want them to do, but what the heck? Damn. Okay. So this APC swings up. Some flame is kind of like flickering down off the side. You see this crystalline thing kind of get flipped up, do several backflips, sticks the landing, flame everywhere, but back on a water tower. The ship curls up, and 4 long gunners take aim at Kulweg, and they just start blasting. And you basically see what's happening is there's a crystal in this like metal case, and you see this magical power kind of like spiral up the crystals and then shoots out at you. And you are taking 8 damage, 1 strain, and a critical damage.
Okay. So 8 damage is my wound, like over my wound threshold.
What's your soak though?
Subtract your soak.
Let me take a look. I have a soak of 1, so it is exactly my wound threshold.
You can't have a soak of 1. You should have at least a soak of 1 armor. So
Maybe.
your soak should be probably a minimum of 2.
What's your brawn?
1. My brawn is low. Did that on purpose.
And you don't have any armor on.
Wait, how do you have? Are gnomes? Do they start off with 2 1s? I don't remember that.
I don't know.
Steve's gnome does.
I'm looking.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Because they have 3 in cunning and 3 in presence.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, so you should have a Ahsoka 2. Why is that not carrying through? Oh, there it goes. All right, so your soak is 2.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you have 1 life left. And you take a crit. Your crit is fearsome wounds. Increase difficulty of all presence and willpower checks by 1 until this is healed.
Okay.
And I've put that into your character sheet in biography. So that's how you can track it.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically these guns just start blasting, stone all around you kind of is exploding. These are a little bit more like rifles, so it's more of like a kind of has to recharge, recharge, and 4 of them just kind of blow up the space all around you. Cool. Next up, the sergeant on the ground is gonna like look up. Hey, Burning Man, get down here. And they are going to throw this little crystalline like grenade at you.
Okay.
Ooh, and it goes off. So this like crystal kind of comes flying up, bounces off your chest. It is going to be doing 5 damage, but what's a really cool grenade effect?
Blast back.
I don't know what that means.
Like
What's blast back?
pushback, like knockback.
Concussion grenade.
Oh, cool. So I think it creates a void. So as it blows up, it creates like a little mini gravity thing. So I think Karlax, you're being sucked into this gravity kind of thing, and it's pulling you off the edge of the tower. So you're looking at a potential fall.
Oh, no,
Okay.
it's the black hole grenade.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. From my generation, we would call it a singularity from Mass Effect. But you know, that's probably a pop culture thing you guys don't really get.
No, I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Oh, that hurts.
I just know from Cyborg, there's a black hole grenade that we played with, Steve specifically.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Mass Effect is probably one of the best story role-playing video games ever. Well, maybe role-playing strong, but RPG games out there. But anyways, all right. So Steve, you take the damage, and then you are being pulled forwards.
You said it was 5?
I forgot what I said, so I deliberately did not repeat the number, but 5 sounds like what I was going to say.
Okay.
5 was the number of counting, and the counting should be 5.
So, and you're going to take 1 strain from this kind of gravity thing pulling you forwards.
Okay.
Cool. All right. You guys now have 2 initiative slots, and I just want to congratulate you guys on rolling 0 successes on 2 separate initiative rolls.
Pretty awesome.
Takes talent. It's like you tried to go last, which is an interesting strategic decision.
So
That's
who do we
funny.
have?
We had at least one success that I saw. Well, Groth had an attack planned, but if Karlax is about to possibly fall, then maybe
I have
should.
a plan.
I was gonna say maybe I should cast Augment to let you, not fall and like give you like.
I'm feeling reckless. It seems to be. I like this idea of my character being nicknamed Yeet, considering that's how I kind of opened the campaign. So
Yep.
Okay, I'll yell at you and see if you need a hand. And if you say no, then I'll go ahead and I'm going to throw a fireball at the guys that just threw the bomb at Karlax.
Cool. So just a reminder, in the system, we build the spell based off the effects you want to have. So theoretically, a fireball would be fire. I want to say it's implosion.
I'm less worried about like trying to go for the burn quality. I want to add blast. So it's themed on fire. It looks like fire, but it's really just.
But you're not trying to do the damage over time.
I'm throwing an explosion at them.
Got it. Okay.
And fire feels more like that explosion rather than lightning for me.
Well, I mean, you're a druid, so maybe it's you are throwing.
Could be the earth bursting apart. That could work too.
Maybe you summon a seed that you throw, and the seed hits and it explodes out, and it's like one of those dandelion pod things. Or some vines pop up and whip around. Or, I don't know, there's a lot of other ideas I have, but we don't need to spend an entire podcast on that.
Right.
So technically,
I can also summon something.
Technically, your ass is at long range.
Luckily, my implement gives me +1 on my range.
So you're going from short to medium. So you are also going to have to purchase the range upgrade. Yeah.
You could take a maneuver to move into medium if you wanted to.
Yeah, you should YOLO out and like free for all casting spells.
I'm up on top of something. Moving into the range would mean me dropping.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do blast in range, which will put me up to difficulty of 3.
Yeah. What's really cool is empowered. I'm just gonna put that one out there for you.
Empower is cool, and I've done it before, but I'm already gonna be 3 yellow, 3 difficulty.
I know.
And do I get boost because of my implement?
I don't think you get boost because your implement. Typically, implements are going to be.
I mean, it already improves the range of the damage.
So typically, implements are giving you an additional quality on your spell for free. You still have to activate some of this stuff. So like the blast still has to be activated with 2 advantages. The range is automatically activated. You don't have to spend advantages to get that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna aim at the sergeant who's focused on Karlax. So while he's distracted and not noticing that there's a spell coming his way, maybe get a little extra.
Him being distracted in no way helps you cast magic.
That's worth a shot. Okay. So 3 yellow, 3 purple. Fail with an advantage.
Yeah, so you do not succeed in casting the spell, but
the spell fails to explode, but it still makes the explosion sound directly behind them, which makes them all be distracted and turn.
Yeah, we can give setbacks to all of them. Yeah. So they'll all take setbacks because they're startled. So you see like the group of melee like looking around and not able to find what caused this loud noise. Cool. So Kulweg is gone. Groth is gone. You guys have one more PC slot.
Oh, I realized I didn't go.
So, okay.
Who would like to go?
I'll go.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
The guy on fire being sucked into a mini,
It's probably
black
needs
hole.
the point.
I mean,
What I'm thinking, just because it seems to be my kind of reckless style, going
what?
to attempt to
No.
use the pull of this black hole to launch myself off the tower and attempt to land on those who threw it at me.
All right. So let's make an athletics check. Let's say that this is an average difficulty, but you're gonna have 2 setback because gravity's not behaving the way it's supposed to. Remember, you're still on fire, so you are taking 2 damage that does bypass your soak.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, but it's much more cool and theatrical if I'm on fire.
100%. Hey, your turn's not over, bro. Who knows what's gonna happen.
Let's roll this and then we'll deal with the damage later.
That's what healing magic's
So that and that cancel. So I am left with 1 failure and 1 threat.
So we see Karlax feels like they're losing their footing on the tower, and then you kind of see this moment where their eyes kind of go, why not? And so instead turn and shove off the tower into the gravity well, and instead of angling towards the sergeant that you want to hit, you end up going flying where? I think you're going to crash into the archaeologist
I was
guild.
thinking that.
Yeah. So I think you kind of like barrel into one of them. You are not going to kill any of them, but a couple of them get on fire and they start like patting out the flames.
Oh my gosh.
So you are kind of now in the middle. Like the Kalaris melee had been holding off a little bit because they're letting the gun shoot down. So you are now in the middle of the shit. What are you doing?
Well, am I in this nice, moist, muddy ground?
You are.
Then I am going to roll around and attempt to extinguish the fire.
All right. We will say that you are able to extinguish the fire for your action.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So now their melee turn. Basically the group on the ground that's got more like swords and axes and that type of gear, they are going to run up and they're just going to like hit the archaeologist guild. Ooh, big hits. Big hits. So unfortunately, 2 of the archaeologists are dropped in this massive melee attack. All right. We now have 2 PC slots.
Who's left besides me?
I think just me then. In that case, I'll go ahead and I guess I'll shoot for one of the gunners that are raining down to hell.
Sure.
I mean, I have a ranged weapon, so it works. Stands to reason. That'd be pretty good. All right. And what is my difficulty?
Purple.
Oh, just 2 purple? Right on.
And you can aim, so you can take a boost.
What would you say if I aimed and also tried to aim for one more guy? So 2 ranged people.
I'd say that in this system, it's narrative. So you are shooting a bunch of arrows into the APC. So depending on how well you roll, you are going to hit multiple people already.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
So,
I'll
but
take a strain.
you could take 2 strain to aim a second time.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I was just about to say it too. Perfect. We're in sync now. And rolling all of this mess.
Whoa.
Hey, 6 success, 2 advantages.
What's the damage on your weapon?
I believe on my weapon it is 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That means I take 2 strain, so that's 3 strain total. Out of a threshold of 12. Okay, good.
Okay, so you are doing 13 damage.
Some unlucky son of a bitch is gonna get a face full of arrow.
Yeah. So you basically pull these arrows out, and I think you're deliberately kind of hitting the ones that were hitting Kulweg, and suddenly arrows sprout out of one of them, and you see the gun drop, and that body falls over the side, and you've peppered a second one with a bunch of arrows as well. Cool. You're lucky you didn't roll any threats, otherwise you might have hit your teammate. So you still have 2 advantages. What would you like to do with them?
I would like to use them to boost the next person's roll. Is that something I can do? I forgot or not. I believe so, right?
You can use 2. You can use 2 to boost a specific person. You can use 1 to go to the next person.
That attacks that
Oh.
group.
Okay. Who's going next?
Me.
Oh, then you get my
I think I'm the
my
last
boost
one,
dice.
right?
I'm passing the savings on to you.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm the last one to go in the round, right?
You are.
All right.
What?
So what does it look like for people that are looking at me in this APC?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I understand. What does it look like for people looking at you in the APC?
Yes, who's watching me, the prisoner?
At this point, no one. Like the
Good.
4 soldiers are like you're locked and chained to the seat, and you don't really have a lot of range, so no one's expecting you to be able to do much.
It's just my arms that are suspended, though, right? Or did I get foot shackled too?
You did not get foot shackled, but your arms are connected to the seat, so you have a limited range that you can move your arms away from the seat.
Yes.
No tail shackles either? Shame.
So
That's one of
there.
the biggest insults to cat folks.
So is there one of these people that might have keys to these shackles near me, within foot range?
I mean, the lead guy did just shackle you, so
Good.
yeah, he would be there. I guess he's kind of paying. He's probably the one that's paying the most attention to you because he's just he's the one that's getting you situated.
All right. I'm going to try to use skullduggery to lift the keys off of him in this chaos.
Okay. So I think that'll go against his vigilance, which is good.
Yep.
So that's 2 red, 2 purple, but I'll give you a couple boost die.
Okay. And I got the 1 boost die from from Barney.
Yep.
Hey.
So that's that. That's that. And then these.
Hey, don't forget about direction.
Direction. Yes. Agreed. So I did want to ask about that earlier. Is this to speak with direction? Is that a free action, or is that
It depends on how complex. If you guys start debating the theoretical physics, not so much. If you are doing simple little exchanges, yeah, that's free.
it's just simply going to be, you got any ideas there, buddy? Help me out.
Wait, what? Oh, so you're talking to the commander?
Nope. You guys don't hear any of this. It's all in my head.
No.
Well, if only you understood the power of this knife. It has got the power of your blood. I wonder if you could do that thing.
That thing?
Yeah, this is one of those, like, I don't have all the memories of the knife. Like, I was, I was a mapping program for a city. Well, I guess program is a simplification of what I really am. I mean, let's be honest. I'm a complex interworking of multiple different. Well, that's probably not the best.
Let me get my hands free, and then we'll talk some more.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to lift the keys and do the foot thing, and then get the knife out after that if I can. Woo! Sweet. Cancels. Those cancel. That partially cancels. So I have a success, 3 advantage, and a triumph.
Holy shit. So you are able to lift the key. I will give you for 2 of your advantages that he doesn't notice you lifting the key.
Yep. And for the triumph, one of the spells or whatever, maybe when the gunner got shot, he kind of landed on the pilot a little bit, and the thing starts to list, so it tips him into another guy that's in the APC and sends him tumbling. So I have the opportunity next round to be able to try to unlock myself.
Yes. Okay.
Also, it might even make the commander go up to check the pilot to see if what the hell happened. Leaving you just nice and alone to unshackle yourself with that triumph.
Well, the pilot's already been having difficulty because of Kulweg, but this guy is a mage. He's not going to just stop fighting to go look at a pilot. So I think that the fire that is on this ship and the sudden loss of the heavy weight, that is not that I'm trying to weight shame you, Karlax, but so the ship is definitely moving around and it's not very stable.
Yeah, that works.
Cool. All right. And then you have one more advantage.
I will pass that on to the next person for the ongoing chaos of this.
Double it and give it to the next person.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So this commander is going to look at Barney, who is just throwing these crazy arrows, and they're gonna reach out. They pull a crystal out of their pocket, and it's almost on this ornate shield. And they're gonna chant, and you see magic coalescing around this, and then it reaches out, and this barrier. Well, I guess I need to roll first, but a barrier is gonna potentially pop into existence. All right. All right. So it reaches out, and kind of from this crystal shield rune, this barrier pops up around this APC and the surviving archers. Cool. All right. PC turn. Who wants to go?
I don't know. I guess I could go to free myself if that would be useful, because it's a new round, right?
New round.
Yeah.
Anybody mind if I do that?
Hell no. Free yourself.
All right. I'm going to.
You must stay.
Yeah. Just stay shackled till the end of the fight.
I'm going to try to move the keys from my foot to my hand and unlock the thing if I can get it up there.
I want to make jokes about having trouble getting it up there. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
What do I need to roll, or is this going to be a narrative thing?
Are you trying to be stealthy? Are you trying to go quick?
I'm trying to do it as fast as possible. Yes, so I can be free.
So in that case, I don't think you need to roll. But what you'll do is you'll take a setback in whatever action you choose to take for your turn.
Okay. So I will do that, and I'm going to pull out direction.
Love it.
And all right, let's talk. What's the thing?
Well, this is awkward because I feel like you just made a big life moment, and well, I don't know all the details, but it does involve getting you need to kind of cut yourself just a little bit with me, just a little bit. I feel like that's the right thing to do.
In my head, he gets the two squinty eyes.
I mean, you're the one who saw this happen before. I'm just kind of aware of your memories and just trying to come up with a plan here.
All right,
you're the one who fell into this place.
So I reluctantly put out my hand, and I kind of turn my head away, and I'll draw direction over my palm of my hand.
Yeah, so as soon as blood hits direction, you almost feel the knife become charged up. And in retrospect, we probably should have talked and designed this before this moment, but you suddenly become aware of multiple different moments in space that you have left your mark on. And you become aware that some of these bigger places, it's almost like you could create a portal between those two moments and step through. You also feel like there's smaller dimensions, ones that you haven't created, but the prior owner of this dagger has. Right now, you feel like only a couple of these places are really accessible to you, but you have the sense that there are more kind of locked away because you don't know enough. Your bond with direction isn't deep enough.
All right. So some are available, others are locked away because I have to connect with direction more. So I'm going to pick one of the ones that is available to me
Sure.
that's not in this APC,
Cool.
and I'm going to go there.
Cool. Where is it?
It is back on the planet that I had my first mission on.
We're only on one planet. When you say you're back on the planet that you had your first mission on,
Like
first
back, like back when I first joined the ranks of
Kalaris or
Kalaris.
the Comet's Tail. Got it. Yeah. So everyone that can see the APC sees Prang kind of draw across, and then as they move the knife, it's almost like they cut into the fabric of the celestial realm, and then poof, Prang is gone. Cool. Who's next?
I could try to do what I had meant to do last.
Cool. Let's do that. And Eric, we'll have to talk more about mechanics later on because like we're gonna have to do rolls and things for this. But right now, because that was kind of the awakening, it's gonna be a little more powerful for this kind of interaction.
That's how I thought it would be too. Yeah, just it's kind of a panic move, and it just is like, here.
Well, it's also kind of you're still having some access to the prior owner's stuff, but as you claim it, some of it will disappear. And it's kind of that like first power up. Like you're really powerful when you first do it, but then things settle.
Yep.
I think this time I like the idea of trying to make the ground explode, like using the earth there and making it rupture and blow up.
Got it.
And just trying different elements of
All right. Yeah. So don't forget to take your strain. So that's 4 strain thus far. And unfortunately, yeah, you try to like condense and nothing happens. All right. So the gunners, the 3 that are left alive, are going to aim at Barney because Barney just their shit up.
Yeah. I don't doubt that's happened.
Ooh, okay. So unfortunately, they are aiming and they're shooting, and because as your arrows are kind of raining on them, they're hiding down a little bit more and trying to shoot. They are missing you, but they're blowing up a lot of stone dust around you. So you and Barney are gonna each have setbacks on your turns. Cool. We now have 2 PC slots.
Say I can go if no one else has anything in mind.
We haven't heard young Steve in forever.
I think at this point, Kulweg is scrambling for cover and abandoning his plan from before. He might be trying to find like a way to get out of their view and also find a way down.
Oh, cool. All right. So I think we have 2 approaches here. One is trying to get down quickly. That's an athletics check. Trying to get down intelligently. That's a coordination check. Trying to get down without being obvious in what you are doing, and that would be a stealth check.
Okay. Let me take a look. I think I have points in stealth. Yeah, I do. I'll go ahead and do a stealth check.
Okay. So you do unfortunately have a setback die just because there's a lot of fire around you and things are blowing up.
Yep.
But otherwise, it's just an average difficulty. Oh yeah, it's almost like you disappear.
Awesome.
And you said you're trying to get down to like where the combat's happening?
Yes, but that doesn't have to happen this turn.
Well, you still have your maneuvers, so technically you're sneaking and you're able to move.
Okay.
So you also rolled an advantage, so I'm going to let you move further than I originally was going to because of that. And if you spend 2 strain, though actually you're hurt, so you might want to spend 2 strain to use a healing crystal on yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
So that's you get back 5 hit points.
Sweet.
But it's going to take you 2 strain to do that because that's 2 maneuvers.
That's fine.
Cool. Yeah, so you're able to find your way down. I think you've kind of found almost like it's almost like a slide-like type of vine structure that you're able to kind of sneak down in, and you're all but forgotten. All right. I guess actually I forgot one NPC slot. So I think the sergeant is going to turn to Karlax, who's no longer on fire, and say, "I knew you were afraid to face me." And so this catfolk is going to like parkour off a couple things and then like come in with this overhand slam with a great sword.
Okay.
It's an okay sword.
Passable sword at best.
Wow, just because you guys all have small swords doesn't mean you gotta hate. Do you have any defenses or anything?
No, I do not.
So yeah, you are in the mud, rolling around, and so you're kind of blending in. So he comes down and slams, and just a bunch of mud flies up, but it hasn't connected. Like picks the sword up and like pommel strikes the ground trying to find you. You're not there. Sweeps the tip through the ground. Still can't find you, and he's kind of like spinning around now, like trying to locate you in the mud.
Okay.
And in that process, because technically Hagan rolled a triumph and said there's some magical things about this place that I can't remember the exact details of. UPCs, feel free to make up stuff. I feel like there's supposed to be like a fire system or something in place.
Okay.
A fire system, like
I don't remember. Hagan did stuff. Actually, no, it was Steve. Steve came up with the idea, so it's his fault.
Which Steve?
Me.
You.
You can't remember.
I'm just gonna say you, and it covers half my bases. I think it was old Steve who suggested that there's some kind of interface for direction to potentially gain more data, as well as there were some defenses here, and I can't remember the exact details. So moral is, for a story point, if it's really cool, it's gonna happen.
Fair enough.
All right. We now have the melee guys. They're gonna turn and try to help their sergeant. Oof. So they kind of look for you too and can't find you, but instead they start harassing the remaining archaeologist guild and really basically have them on the back foot. They're just scrambling back. They're not able to do much to support you guys as the kind of cleric soldiers with their shields are menacing them and kind of just keeping them apart from the battle. So now whoever hasn't gone, it is their turn.
I think that would be me then.
I think me and you,
Yes.
because this is
You
the
can go
start
ahead
of the
and
new
go if you
round.
want.
Okay.
No, the end of the second round.
What I'll do is I'll go ahead and shoot for non-lethal shots on the greatsword wielding commander guy.
All right, so you're not going to shoot at the guys with rifles that are shooting at you?
Oh, yeah, no, that is a point. Although they're not hitting me though. They've missed so far. And I can just move out of the way later when I need to,
Hey man, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and target the commander trying to play whack-a-mole with Karlax.
So that's going to be long range is 4 purple.
All right. Let's see.
And I think your bow doesn't have that range, so get you upgrade.
Yeah, it's medium. So
let me
Is it
grab my cheat sheet.
whack-a-mole or
to
is
confirm.
he a pinata?
yes. Oh man, I'm making him go get the book. This is the first. And
Just 3 purple, sorry, but it is upgraded because it's outside your weapon's range.
no worries. I'll take one. I'll take an aim for a boost die, and fuck it. Nope.
How are you doing non-lethal damage? Is that a quality of your bow?
No, but it would be a quality of intent. Aiming for like arms.
So if you
aiming for his
don't-
arms.
So if you want to do so non-lethal damage is specific items, qualities, or skills.
Oh.
So I'm not quite sure what you're trying to achieve by saying non-lethal damage.
I just wanted to like target his legs or his arms to wound him but not kill him. Not go for a headshot.
You can't call shots like that, really.
Well, shoot.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah. All right. Scratch that plan then. I will go ahead and
Why not go for a kill shot?
Oh, because he might have useful information.
Okay.
He might be worth interrogating. Whether or not I'll be the one interrogating him is entirely up to later, but regardless, he would be a valuable asset to interrogate. And so I would say I would go ahead and I'll target the melee group of soldiers harassing the guild.
Okay. Same difficulty.
Same difficulty? All right. Then I will take another 2 strain to aim twice.
Okay.
And roll.
All right. So you're able to hit one of them with an arrow, doing minor damage.
Yeah.
Some might say it's non-lethal damage.
Technically accurate. All right, Karlax, Mud Boy, what are you doing?
All right. So I feel like it's just too cool to try and do like one of those twirly breakdance moves and sweep the guy's legs out from underneath him
Okay.
in the mud because it's just too cool looking.
Okay. So you can aim twice to try to do a knockdown. Otherwise, it's a bunch of advantages that you have to do. You have to get to knock someone down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's brawl check.
Yeah. Sure. I'll do that. And I forget, melee difficulty is default 1 or 2.
Well, if you're doing a brawl check, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to melee him down and trip him, or are you trying to like grapple him down?
Like I said, the image in my head is just like start spinning, like I said, literally the breakdance spinning in the mud move, and sweep his feet out from under him.
We need Keith Capel to weigh in with his Ready Fight expansion. I can't remember what it was. It's a good one. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I've been meaning to look at it, but I haven't yet.
It's interesting. I like how he brings in a bunch of different martial disciplines and kind of roots them in different approaches to characteristics. But so I think that's going to be more of a brawl check, what I'm hearing, because you're not using a weapon. So it's going to be a brawl versus brawl. So this guy has your difficulty is going to be 1 red, 2 purple.
All right.
Could Steve get a boost die for him being on the edge of a mud pit with a sword that might make him off balance?
I'll give a boost die for the mud pit, but this guy's experienced wielding swords on combat and battlefields.
I'll take the extra
mud
boost.
pits.
What the heck?
Mud is often in battlefields.
You know, Abraham Lincoln almost fought a duel once with broadswords in a pit.
Nope. Are you sure it wasn't on a Hoover ship that he almost fought the deal?
No, but if you hum a few bars.
Well, the dice do not like me.
Oof.
So.
But is it going to be cool?
Oh yeah, that's the question. Is it going to be cool?
Tell the robots what the.
So 2 failure.
Right, yeah. So as you start, like, you pop out of the mud, you're doing this break dance, and you suddenly realize that you're actually this person made of crystal, and you're not very flexible, and so you try to spin, and physics, everything just goes wrong. So you end up kind of like sliding and falling back down into the mud.
I have to take the strain for the extra maneuver there, correct?
You just did one.
Right, wait, you're right. I took a minute.
Did you roll boost die?
Aim? Yeah, I'm taking the 2 strain. What the hell?
All right, then roll 2 more boost die.
I rolled 3.
Oh, then you rolled 3 boost die?
Yeah, because you said I could aim twice, and then you gave me 1 for
the mud. Oh, you're right. No, you're right. You rolled all your boost die then. Nope, you're just not meant to do anything this time.
All right.
All right. So that's everyone. So top of the order, the mage gets to go again. They're going to maintain their shield spells. No one is attacking them, and is gonna throw a fireball at Barney.
Oh, snap.
Actually, you know what? No, they're going to use. I don't think they don't want to do damage over time. Actually, they're going to throw poison at you.
Delightful, delicious, even.
Ooh, okay. So you are taking 4, 6, 8 damage. So basically, they're still holding out this shield crystal, and around their neck they grab this other crystal that looks like almost a poison drop, and they mutter something. And actually, I guess left hand's defense, right hand's attack. And so they mutter something, and almost like this poison like acid forms in their hand. They reach up to the sky and like yank it down, and above you this just glob of acid just crashes into you, doing
Lord.
damage.
There's no way I can dodge that.
No.
Oh, snap. Oh, boy. So I have 1 soak and a wound threshold of 7.
You should have at least 2 soak.
Weirdly enough, I don't know what's up with the armor, but it just won't. It weird. Okay, I'll make it say 2. Nope, dang it. What? Okay, back to 1. What the heck? Now it's saying I have 3 soak. What?
There.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So 8, 7, 6. So 6 total damage.
Yep.
Ooh, that is almost my threshold.
Squidgy gnomes.
Oh, yeah, I'm super squishy.
You and Kulweg are both glass cannons, kind of.
Basically, we're
Glass pistols?
oh, what's the word? We are ambitious. Ambitious is the word. Yeah.
All right. So let's get this moving. So next up we have a PC slot. So who wants to go? Young Steve.
Back in that mother.
I'm making choices now. Young Steve, what are you doing?
So we agreed that I sort of. Well, actually, no, we didn't. I'm gonna make my way down towards.
I agreed. Be bold.
All right.
Grab the moment. Pretend it's a Snickers.
Yeah, gonna try and make my way down towards the battlefield again, stealthing.
Cool. What are you trying to do? Because I'm probably gonna say, cool, let's do it.
I'm just trying to get down to where the action's happening.
All right, you're down. Take 2 strain, and you're down where the action's happening.
All right. And
you're going to use your 2 maneuvers to get there, but you still have your action.
From there, Barnelby's hurt. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Barnelby's way back up where you just left him.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was down here.
Probably showing some wear.
Okay. Then I'm gonna make my way towards Steve's character, Karlax. And
yeah. Oh, the Archaeologist Guild is really hurt too, by the way.
Okay. Priorities as they lie. I prioritize Karlax over them, honestly.
Sounds good.
And I'm gonna make my way over to him and try and get him. If I can get over there and get him healed up, that'd be great.
Are you throwing your grenade? How are you doing that?
Probably. Yeah, let's go ahead and give the grenade a chuck.
Yeah, then you're in range, and if you roll well enough, we'll say that you're hitting some of the Archaeologist Guild too, because they kind of rallied to Karlax. So that's a ranged light. You are at short range because of all the maneuvers you did. So that's going to be an easy check. So 1 purple. You've used all your maneuvers, so you can't aim. So it's going to be limited. You're not going to be able to get boost die that way.
Yeah, no worries. We'll just go ahead and roll it flat.
Nice.
Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah, so you hit Karlax with this grenade. Puff. It looks like it's about to kind of explode out, but unfortunately it just stays local. So it is going to be healing 7 damage and 1 strain.
Woo! So I look good as new.
Oh yeah, because you're burnt. Cool. All right. So next up, the sergeant is finally able to see you. He's like, I don't even know what you just tried to do there, and it makes me very angry. And goes to hit you with their giant sword. And doesn't manage. So I think goes to swing, but some of the healing grenade is kind of gaseous around you and kind of like makes it hard to see you a little bit. And so he ends up missing, and swings again. You kind of manage to deflect it just a little bit with some of your crystalline forearm. All right. Next up is the gunners that are shooting at Barney. Righty.
Yay.
Ooh. So unfortunately, the acid that's pooled around you has made it hard to see. So they're still shooting, but they're not having much success hitting you. And they have actually exposed themselves a little bit to return fire.
Oh
All
my.
right. We now have 2 PC slots.
I'll take advantage of the exposed nature.
Okay. So, well, who are you shooting at?
The rifleman.
Okay. So you're gonna get 1 boost because of their stuff, but the guy's still holding up a shield, so you actually are gonna get a setback because that has ranged defense, and the shield is actually granting soak.
Could I then actually scratch that and cover the mage instead?
The mage has the same shield.
Oh, I know. But he's the one activating it, so
Okay.
getting him out of the picture would make it easier to target the rest of them.
All right.
So
1 setback, no boost at this point.
1 setback, no boost, 2 difficulty?
Yes.
Right on. And can I still aim for boost or no?
You can aim once, but you gotta be running out of strain.
I actually apparently only have so far I only have 5 out of my 12 strain threshold.
Okay.
So I could aim one more time and be fine. Although it's kind of pushing it. But I think 2 boosts to combat a setback sounds pretty good to me.
All right. So then you got to double aim. All righty. So you are doing 8 damage. But
All right.
so what are you doing for your advantages?
I keep forgetting what I can do with advantages. I got 5 of them.
Group, what can you do?
5 is, I believe, triumph type level.
3 triumph. Well, I guess it depends on your weapon. Your weapon all have different crit ratings between 2 and 5. Most average is 3. So I don't know for this particular weapon that he's using.
Yeah,
But yes.
you could use it for the weapon, or you could make it a narrative triumph type thing too.
I'll use it for the weapon. Get it a little extra boost.
So what's your weapon's crit rating?
I actually don't know. It's a bow, and that's 3. 3's a crit.
3.
All right, so you get a crit, and then you can pass someone specifically
All right, who's going next?
a boost. Well, you could give it to somebody specific with 2.
Oh,
Is this the same round that I went?
Nope. This is a new round.
also, could I do? Could I also just pass 2 boosts to whoever goes next?
No, you can't
Nope.
stack boosts.
Okay, that's fair.
You could give it to specifically to Hagan.
Yeah, I'll give it
Use
to
it for 2 advantage, and then you can roll your crit. So it's a D100 unless your weapon has vicious.
which it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and toss. I'll spend the last 2 to toss it to Hagan, and then how do I roll just a number die? What? Here.
I don't actually know that answer.
Found it. I think. Nope, never mind.
I have a pair sitting here.
Just
yeah, if you want to roll, you roll it for me.
My crit table for some reason isn't working.
Even 70.
There it goes.
Even 70, nice.
Oh, okay. Even 70. That is scattered senses.
Oof. He got his block rocked.
Target removes all bonuses from skill checks until the end of the encounter. All right, cool. So that was 1 NPC move. You guys have one more PC action. So who's going?
Quick question. I noticed on my character sheet that I had some strain coming into tonight. Was that all still there from previous session, or would any of that have been healed up?
Well, you definitely cast a spell at the end of last session, so you have a minimum of 2 strain. Beyond that, I don't remember. So I'm not going to nitpick it.
I had 4 going, so I wanted to make sure, because right now I'm at 8 of my 12. If the 4 from previously count.
Got it. Then yes, you would have had at least 2.
Okay, so I'll make it 6. Then I'll be at 8 after casting this.
You cast spells twice this time.
Right.
So isn't that 8 currently?
Well, the spells cost me 2 strain each time, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, no, I
Cool.
was saying like yeah. So I was saying I didn't know if that means that I did 1 previously, then I have these 2, then that puts me at 6. This will put me at 8. Actually, I'm thinking I need to get down to the battlefield to help out. So I was thinking of casting Augment on myself to.
Okay. Do it.
What is the difficulty with Augment?
So it depends on what you're trying to do. If you look in journals, hopefully this is popping up for you. I don't know if that popped up for you.
Yes.
Perfect. So basically augment functions in different ways, depending on what you're doing. So while you're looking at how to build out that spell, because nobody's going to be attacking you, nothing's really going to change. Does a different PC want to take the slot?
I can.
Do it.
All right. So I think Karlax is going to spend a maneuver to get up, and then this guy is trying desperately to hit me with a sword. So I think what Karlax is going to kind of do is, as he kind of one swipe goes by him, he's going to kind of throw a hand in behind the guy's blade, like his left hand, and then just drill him in the face with the other hand.
Okay. So that's going to be a brawl check. You're not trying to grapple. So that's going to be a 2 difficulty.
Okay.
Oh, and don't forget the boost then.
What boost?
The boost that I had from because I was going to give it to Hagan. Oh no, I specifically spent 2 to give it specifically to Hagan. So no matter what, when Hagan goes, he gets the point. Oh, okay, never mind. So my bad.
Right.
Sorry.
It's all good.
My brain.
All good.
All right. So that's that. All right. So net 2 advantage, which I believe is enough to disarm, is it not? Or does that have to succeed?
Technically, it's 3 advantage,
Oh, is
I
it?
thought, to disarm. But we can be creative if you have something fun. Since I don't know if you've succeeded at a roll yet tonight.
I think the only one I succeeded at had like a crap ton of threat on it too.
Is your character supposed to be doing melee?
I'm 2 and 1 in brawl.
Okay.
So I mean, like I have a decent pool. I'm just the purple dice came up 2 threat and a failure, and then I rolled a crap ton of advantage and 1 success.
Brutal.
So
Okay.
net 2 advantage. So what I was thinking is essentially then, like, okay, so as I was describing it, like where he kind of brought a hand in behind his weapon. Well, he doesn't land with the punch, but he does knock the weapon out of his hand.
I can't remember if disarm is 2 or 3. So I think what we'll do is we'll give him 2 setback dice his next turn.
Okay.
Unless I can locate what disarm is.
I couldn't remember how many it was.
I can't either. It's not on my cheat sheet. All right. So next up are the grunt melee people. I think they are going to turn now that they can find Karlax and are going to try to attack you.
So Ben, I know that
they don't succeed. Yep.
I know we did the trying to make me fly thing before, like way back.
Yeah.
What, like I'm looking at the different effects for augment, and it's not something that's covered like on its own, but it looks like most of the effects are just a +1. Would something like flight be more like a +2?
So I feel like you're trying to do more of a feather fall than a flight. So I think a +2 is very appropriate.
Okay, and augment starts at a 2, so this is actually a 4 difficulty.
Oof, that got mean quickly.
Augment is difficulty average, so.
I thought they gave an example of flights.
Not when I looked in the book. They have divine health, haste, primal fury, range, swift, and additional target. If we want to make this kind of like a inversion of swift, then that would be +1.
Since we're just doing a feather fall, let's just say it's a +1.
So 3/3 and a blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man.
You guys are not rolling well tonight.
Did it work? I think it worked.
Technically, you got an advantage. Why?
So I cast Featherfall on myself, and I look down, and there's a group of enemies that are right there near Karlax. And so I step up. I have my axe out because I've had that out because I'm casting, and I have my axe out, and I give a war cry, and I take a step off, and yeah, I'm kind of falling. Luckily, one of the people in the group is very fat and makes an excellent landing pad.
Well, you did make all this mud, that's very warm and welcoming. Yeah, I think you also might have a chance on your next turn to do something about it. However, we're getting late. Prang still has to go this turn. So I think we'll do that, and then we might put a cliffhanger in this, because unfortunately, a lot of you guys have rolled just horribly. So that's really kind of slowed this combat down quite a bit.
This is much more like my normal dice roll.
Well, I was just gonna say, quite honestly, maybe we should just end tonight, so that maybe next time we get together, you guys can roll. So Prang, what are you doing?
I look around at my environment. I'm like, direction. What am I doing here? Why am I here? Get me back. I need to get back to my company.
You chose this location. I'm a tool. You are the artist. I can only do so much. Okay, focus. Who's your best friend?
I don't have one. I guess Karlax.
This is gonna be harder to do then. You said
Karlax, the
Karlax?
closest thing to it.
Okay. So you are able to slice another barrier, hop through, and you're gonna basically appear in the air over Karlax, dropping down towards the great sword wielding sergeant, or I guess or the group of melee minions, whichever one you want to go for.
I guess the melee minions.
Yeah. So I think you kind of bamf, and you're holding this dagger in your hand. Blood's kind of streaming off of it, and you go crashing into them. So go ahead and make me a melee roll.
Oh, melee.
It's a dagger.
Yeah.
I shared an appropriate meme in the out of game chat.
I think that's like our motto.
All right, melee.
Basically.
All right.
We've had at least 3 people in the group in the last 2 sessions fall and not actually make their rolls.
Melee light, I assume, right?
Yep.
That is 3 successes and a threat.
Yeah, so you crash into these Kalaris soldiers. You are killing one of them, and I think you're kind of like standing over them, like dagger is in their neck, and your threat is going to be that you are now all wet, and we all know cats hate being wet.
Gross.
Really is.
I get up and I'm like,
Karlax, you're lucky we're such good friends. I'm going to flip a story point for you guys. And as soon as direction touches this place, oh, well, that's fascinating. And I think that's where we'll end the session.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Cool. Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and RPGs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast, on Discord at Me and Steve RPGs, and as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.